I am so tired of you acting like you speak for the people of the state of Indiana or the city of Indianapolis. You do not speak for me or anyone I know. Now listen, you two jerks. Jerks on the right.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. We made it to the end of the week. What? Coming up on the show today, Trump ditches the Department of Education.
Bye.
Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. The Bernie show hits Arizona. And Hilaria is desperate to save face. All of that and so much more coming up on the show today. You guys, make sure that you click subscribe to this podcast. It's very easy. Just click subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And don't miss any chick moments. You can follow us at www.chicksontheright.com/links. That's where you can find all the things. Please do that.
Do it.
That's all I got.
And then also our gal pal over at our merch store, Carrie, she is hosting a big fat sale on the 23rd. I think that's Sunday. So on the 23rd, everything in the merch store is 20% off when you use code Winnie20, because this is for her dog's
Oh my God,
birthday.
that's so cute. Can I just say, I'm going to save gifts to the end, but she sent me the shirt. So
yes,
you can
the
get
shirt
this in the store if you want to get that.
And I love that shirt. I wore that
too.
last week. I think it
so,
is.
And it's soft and it's baseball-y, and I love it. Is that a word? Baseball-y?
It is now.
Cute. So
I love
cute,
it.
you guys. Anyways, yeah.
Love it. So 20% off. And of course, the website again, inreallifecreations.etsy.com. Use code Winnie20 on Sunday to get your 20% off. All right, let's get into the things and the stuff. So it turns out that there will be an election. The current Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, is set to call the election in April. Apparently, it's going to be the 28th. That could change, but that's what we're hearing right now. And it's sounding like he has decided to call the election because he is leading in the polls. Before Trump kind of started this whole fight with Canada, Pierre Poilievre was in the lead by kind of a lot. Yeah. And now it's flipped. And so we'll see. I hope Pierre wins because Pierre's a great dude. And for Canada's sake, I hope he wins.
How can Pierre not be winning? I just don't understand this. Like, what is wrong with the people of Canada? Canada, if there are any Canadians out there, what the hell is wrong with you? I don't
like. Do you want more torture? Because Carney is in many ways worse than Trudeau.
He's a complete loon. This is the thing I don't understand. And Pierre is a badass. He's such a great guy. We played so much of his stuff on our show over the years. He's so great. So I don't get it.
We'll see. It's still, it's still a month away, but who knows? Lots can happen in a month, as we all know, but at least we're moving towards a possible change in leadership. We'll just have to see. Also, we spent a lot of time yesterday talking about these ridiculous attacks on Tesla, on individual Tesla owners' cars, on all the doxing that's going on with Tesla car owners, on all of the Tesla factories, like mechanic shops, showrooms. All of those are getting attacked. And now we're starting to see some justice. So the DOJ has charged 3 as you would expect looking suspects.
God, they look exactly like you'd expect them to look.
Right?
Don't they? Good Lord.
They each are facing 20 years in prison for, these are separate Molotov cocktail attacks on Tesla properties in Salem, Oregon, Loveland, Colorado, and Charleston, South Carolina. So enjoy your time in prison.
Yeah, you freaks. What's the thing on the top left? Is that a dude? What is that?
Yeah,
what is that? Anybody know? I feel like the top right and the bottom are both, biological men.
I feel like the one on the bottom is like that guy that was like, Inigo Montoya was my father. You killed my father. Prepare to die. That's that guy.
Yes, on Princess Bride. Yes.
Yes.
But the top left, it's a Smurf. It is, Jamie. It's a Smurf. It identifies as that.
They look like you would
exactly.
expect.
I am a unicorn. Okay.
And yesterday we also talked about Rick Wilson, that Lincoln Project guy, saying kill Tesla on his Substack and then posting it on Twitter. And Elon did not take kindly to that, nor should he have, because he's basically inciting more violence against he's inciting terrorism, essentially. And so earlier yesterday, his account was, I think, suspended for 30 days, but then he ended up being suspended permanently. And the Lincoln Project, of course, was all, Rick Wilson was just kicked off X for 30 days because he talked about how to make Elon personally feel the same economic pain he's whacking the country with. And Elon didn't like it. So Joe Concha... Yeah, Joe Concha responded, he advocated for terrorism at Tesla dealerships that's going to lead to people getting killed. But hey, the Lincoln Project supports it and is now fundraising off of it again to line their own pockets.
The Lincoln Project,
disgusting group.
They are disgusting pedophile asshats is what they are. Yeah. And the fact that they call themselves Republicans, it just makes my skin crawl. Like, go away. They're the worst of the worst. They're like the Anna Navarros and the Jennifer Rubins, and all those people just need to stop saying that you're on the right. You're not on the right. Go away.
They're just absolutely awful. Couple memes to share, just kind of sort of tangentially related to all of this Tesla stuff that I thought were interesting. One says, Democrats used to burn crosses in the yards of blacks to intimidate them. Now they're burning Teslas in the owners' yards for the same reason. Nothing has changed about the Democrat Party in over a century. The tactics are still the same.
Preach.
So true, man. So freaking true. And then there was another meme that I just thought was perfect. Absolutely perfect. Look, son, rioters, arsonists, and looters are here to teach us about peace and equality.
So true. My God.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, it's just so typical.
So tolerant. We're so tolerant and loving. 16 years we've been seeing this, right? 16 years. We're the tolerant and loving party, aren't we? We're just so tolerant. No. Nope.
All these people, you know what they need? They need a better night's sleep. And they would get it if they used sheets at CozyEarth.com/chicks. So right now it's perfect weather here in South Carolina where the nights are cool and like the Cozy Earth sheets are like no other. This is why they have the forever long guarantee. It's a 10-year warranty plus a 100-night sleep trial. So they're so confident in like the luxury of their sheets that they're willing to let you try them for 100 nights. And if you don't like them, which it's just not going to happen. Like you're going to fall in love with these sheets. But if for some reason you thought these sheets don't do what they say, you can send them back and no questions asked. It's a money back guarantee. Plus they have the 10-year warranty. And the reason is, I don't know what the magic is in these temperature regulating luxury sheets, but with every single wash, you would expect like normal sheets to start pilling and getting a little bit less soft. It's the opposite. You wash these sheets more and more, and somehow they continue to get softer.
Yeah, they do.
It's nuts. And so every week when we go to change the bedding on our bed, I'm like, do I put on a different set of sheets? No, I'm not.
No. You just wait.
Right back on. I mean, they are just phenomenal. Phenomenal. So Cozy Earth is helping you crush the lounging game. And you know that is what we are experts at. And it is why we're so happy to partner with CozyEarth.com/chicks. When you use code chicks, you will get 40% off, you guys. 40%. It's a big fat discount at CozyEarth.com/chicks. You should do it because
do it.
Oh man, I love my bed. I love it so much.
I know, right? It's like a happy place.
Oh, so total sanctuary. Just a quick recap of all the amazing stuff that Trump has gotten accomplished in just 2 months. Look at this little handy dandy chart from Fox News. Inflation is down. Gas is below $3 a gallon. Egg prices are dropping like crazy. The border encounters have plunged and mortgage rates have declined. And yet the left continues to bitch about it. It's like, what is the problem?
Yeah. I it's so funny because my husband has he has a couple cousins who are like raging libs, and they'll just send him like messages on, Facebook Messenger all the time, just trying to goad him, and he'll just hand me his phone because he can't. And then I'll just fight with them. You know, because it used to be, I took like a 5-year hiatus from fighting with liberals. And now I'm like, all right, let's do this again. I want to do this again. And so I do. And so I like yesterday, I think one of them was saying he golfs too much.
Oh my God. Yeah. He's not busy enough.
But this is the thing. I see this and I'm like, so that if that is your argument and he can still get all of this done, I feel like that's a bad argument. Because what you're doing is saying that he's golfing, but yeah, okay, if he's golfing a lot, look at what he's gotten done. Imagine, could you do that and golf at the same time? The guy's a phenom.
Now, we're starting to know who the problem children are. And there was a recent poll which identified, and you'll see a couple of different like stats when it comes to demographics of people who are in support of Trump and his policies and his accomplishments and his actions, and those who are not. And it all comes down to the awfuls, affluent, white, female liberals. The awfuls, which is the perfect little acronym for them.
It is.
But just listen to these stats. These women are.
So see this. White women with at least a college degree, the only group of white voters that really kind of is on the left politically, aligned with progressive causes, democratic politics. Give you an example here. It's that DEI question, right here that we asked about in our poll. We had 2 big statements we read to voters. Basically, do you want to continue DEI programs or do you think they should be ended? And again, look at this divide here. White men, no degree, end it. White men with a degree, end it, they say. White women, no degree, end it, they say, by double digits. And then white women with a college degree, completely different by a nearly 40-point margin. They say to continue.
I mean, they're just ridiculous.
I have 2 degrees, and I'm all about everything that he's doing. You have a degree, so I don't like. You know what I mean? I don't know.
But the liberal women are the problem. They are insane.
They've always been the problem. They always have been. They're the ones who are like, we're feminists, we're all for women. But listen, those men totally belong in women's sports. They belong in women's locker rooms. Bugger off. Okay. Yeah,
so it's pretty stark though to see that contrast to every other demographic. They are. I don't know what it is about these liberal women that they're so susceptible to the indoctrination that they hear about in college.
They're emotional.
Yeah, they're emotional.
Totally emotional. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's absolutely right. There was some hysteria that happened last night. I just caught up with it this morning. I didn't even realize this was happening, but Caitlin Collins on CNN came out with this breathless report. And then the New York Times, all the mainstream media players came out with the same story that Elon Musk was going to be visiting the Pentagon today to be given inside information about what our strategy would be in a war with China. So everyone's losing their minds. This was all the talk, all the rage last night, except that it's completely not true. So Donald Trump had to come out and say the fake news is at it again. This time, the failing New York Times, they said incorrectly that Elon Musk is going to the Pentagon tomorrow to be briefed on any potential war with China.
God.
How ridiculous. China will not even be mentioned or discussed. How disgraceful it is that the discredited media can make up such lies. Anyway, the story is completely untrue. This was backed up by Elon, who said the New York Times is pure propaganda. Also, I look forward to the prosecutions of those at the Pentagon who are leaking maliciously false information to the Times. They will be found.
Thank God.
Pete Hegseth also confirmed that this is absolute nonsense.
I just like, what? Why would they do this? They hate him so much that they're willing to put out information that is absolutely freaking dangerous.
Yeah.
I hope that they will be found and I hope they will be prosecuted. This is not
But you know what? At the same time, before Donald Trump came out with this, to blast it as fake news, before anybody even refuted it, my initial reaction, and maybe I don't know what this says about me, but my initial reaction was, so what?
Yeah, so
if
what?
If Trump wants Elon Musk to know something, he is the president of the United States, and he can choose whoever he wants to talk to about whatever he wants to talk to them about.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a great point, Ma, because I mean, you had Jill Biden basically running the White House. Her and crackhead Hunter were running the White House, and nobody feigned outrage over that, on the left. And now they're like, oh my God, Elon, one of the smartest men like in history. He's privy to some information.
I mean,
clutching.
Yeah. I just don't, I wasn't mad about it to begin with, but I'm mad about it that it is just a complete lie. I mean, it's just a lie.
We should be mad about it because at this point, like, it's kind of like all the JFK stuff. I don't expect people to be held accountable for our government being responsible for the death of JFK, right? Everybody's dead. Everybody's dead now. It was like 61 years ago. But we should all understand that that was a horrible thing. And it's lies. Our government lies to us. Like, that is something that everybody needs to absorb and understand and go, okay, that's not okay. Now what do we do about it? How do we take this information and move forward knowing that our government is just corrupt AF and they lie to us all the time? Not okay.
It's not. And I hope Elon's right when he says that the people that are responsible for these leaks, even though I don't even know if leak is the right word, because if they're just spreading absolute false information, it's not a leak. It's just lies.
Lie. It's a lie. It's made up. It's a fabrication. Right. It's just fiction at this point.
Yeah. Right. I mean, they're so desperate, right? I mean, that's what it says to me, is that they're so just desperate and flailing. They're absolutely flailing.
And they're going to keep trying. Like, at every turn, they're like, we're going to get him this time. This time it's going to work. I mean, we've tried 152 times. On the 153rd, it's going to work.
Maybe if we just call them racist again.
Yeah. Just idiots.
Amazingly, Republicans did have some good news in, of all places, New York City yesterday. And that is that their highest court in New York struck down the New York City law that would have let over 800,000 non-citizens vote. So Democrats had tried to say voting is a right for people that live here, even if they're undocumented. They should, or if they're not citizens, they should still be able to vote locally because they live here and have some thoughts about their community. Well, the court rejected that idiotic argument. Voting is a right that is reserved for United States citizens only. I cannot believe that needs to be said out loud.
Yeah, I can't either. It does. Like, what the hell? We have to say that out loud? Okay.
I mean, right?
What is our world?
Freaking stupid. I know. Yeah. Like, this should be obvious to anybody that's an American.
Yeah.
But it's not obvious. And again, I suggest that maybe it's because people aren't getting enough sleep. And here's some help. Here's some help. It's REM sleep from our friends at Healthy Cell. This is just one of a million different kinds of, well, not a million. I may be exaggerating a little bit, but one of several different kinds of gel pack supplements that they have for you. By the way, these gel packs, no matter what kind you get, whether you're trying to support your heart and vascular system, joint and mobility health,
hair, skin, and nails,
That's right. Whether you're just taking a daily multivitamin gel pack, whatever you're taking from Healthy Cell, you can be assured that you're getting absorption at a rate that is 165% better than when you're trying to choke down pills or capsules or whatever. And they taste delicious. This REM sleep one, it's got melatonin, lemon balm extract, GABA, glycine, magnesium, calcium, L-theanine, vitamin B6, all the kinds of stuff that's going to help you not just fall asleep faster, but stay asleep. Also, it has this yummy cherry flavor. So it's delicious on top of all the stuff that it does to help you sleep. Highly recommend this. You can maximize your rest. Of course, this is in the midst of daylight savings time, which I know we're still all recovering from. So make sure that you go to healthycell.com/chicks and then use code chicks. You'll get 20% off of your first order, no matter what the product is that you choose. Or you know what you can do?
We can't hear you. We can't hear you, Mock. You're facing the other direction.
Sorry. I was going to, hang on.
We're professional outfit here, you guys. Very professional.
I wanted to show this cool little thing too that you can also get, which is their little, it's got like samples of every last kind of product that they have. So, it's got all the different things. So you can also get that. And again, if this is your first order, 20% off your first order. You can try any of them and see which ones are your favorites.
Totally.
Healthycell.com/chicks, code.
Somebody asked if you can give that to teens. Yeah, you can. It's great.
Absolutely.
It's great for teens because they don't have to swallow a bunch of pills. That's the joy of Healthy Cell. It's not a bunch of pills. So yeah, a good multi is good for them, I think.
Yes, absolutely. More good news. things that people get real excited about, and the karma is coming. Uh-oh, am I frozen?
You're a little frozen, but you're okay now.
Oh,
You're okay.
okay.
You're okay.
All right. Did you hear me say the karma's coming?
Karma's coming.
Karma's coming. Cori Bush's husband has been indicted by the DOJ with 2 counts of wire fraud because he fraudulently collected $20,000 in PPP loans because they are a scumbag couple. So this should come as a surprise to absolutely no one.
Absolute crooks.
And they're still investigating, by the way, the whole $5,000 a month or something that she was giving him out of campaign funds for security. So oh my God. Such
this
crooks.
couple, man. I know.
Speaking of scumbags, an interesting development in the Andrew Tate and his brother in their scandals. They have now filed a lawsuit against like a whole bunch of people, big time ex-users and small time ex-users. So they're seeking $50,000 for defamation. And I'm assuming that's per case, like per person that they're suing. And so some of the people that have been sued for, saying out loud what they think about the Tate brothers, they're showing the lawsuit paperwork and they're saying, bring it on. Crayon Murders is one example. So this guy is just like, game on. I've been waiting for this. He apparently believes that he has plenty of evidence to support all the things that he has ever said about the Tate brothers. But the Tate brothers are doing their thing.
You could just use video to support things that, you know what I mean? Like use their own words and video. And
it's very, very easy. Like when we say the Tate brothers are scumbags, then we usually have, like yesterday, we played a couple of videos where it's the words coming out of their own faces that make them complete scumbags.
Talking about women and whatnot, and like how all you gotta do is find some videos out there.
It's not hard.
So yeah. Okay.
So this will be interesting.
It will be.
I think their main aim here is that unfortunately they are filthy rich, these 2 brothers. And so they have just like FU money and that's what they're doing with it. They just want to tie people up in courts and it'll cost these people who are defending themselves tons and tons of money.
They're trying to squash like little people. I think that's absolutely disgusting. We've seen that happen before. It's so gross. Yeah. So you can't listen. People have called us all sorts of names. It's free speech, man. People can call us whatever they want to call us. I'm not going to, first of all, we don't have the money to go after them, but I wouldn't do that anyway. I wouldn't be like, oh, you called me the C word, so I'm going to go after you because that's defamation. That's not defamation. You get to call me whatever you want to call me, and we've been called every name in the book for 16 years, everything. They've said all sorts of things
their
about
point
us.
is going to be, we can call them scumbags because that's a matter of opinion. But if we were to say that they did something that they've now just been charged with, but they've not been convicted of, then it's different, right? Then they can say, you can't call me like a rapist when I haven't been convicted of rape. And so that's the line that the people that they're suing have apparently crossed.
Unbelievable.
So, yeah, that's what's happening.
Well, this will be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. And then sign of the times, man. Daisy sent me this headline and I was just like, are you freaking kidding me? But this is a real headline. Perhaps you have heard of the company called Klarna, which is it's a payment company that allows you to have payment plans for large purchases. And now they have partnered with DoorDash. So that instead of paying for DoorDash, like if you order a meal from DoorDash and you just pay for it, you can now pay for it in installments.
You're putting your food on layaway.
You're like, you guys,
it's like I want chicken tenders. I'm putting them on layaway.
I'm gonna need a payment plan of 4 interest-free installments to pay for it.
I'm gonna need a payment plan for my quesadillas. I'm gonna need that. If you need a payment plan for your quesadillas, don't order the quesadillas. Pro tip: don't do it. Just don't. You guys, like that is so quintessentially American, isn't it? Like,
right?
For it is. It really is. You know how much I like love America more than anybody. But like, don't do that. Like, don't.
Yeah.
I hate credit cards, first of all. But I mean, like, don't take a line of credit out for a $20 meal. That's just I'm not a financial expert, but I'm just telling you, like, because I'm really not.
That is good advice, regardless of whether or not you're an expert. That's definitely good advice.
You shouldn't do that.
The only way that this makes sense to me, and it doesn't still, but like I was trying to think, well, in what circumstance could this make sense? I guess if you're ordering for a company luncheon, maybe it could make some sense. But like as an individual, no, it makes no sense at all.
But even a company luncheon, like as a company should be able to afford
a
whole lunch at one time. Or maybe don't have the luncheon. You know what I mean? I don't understand this. I just don't understand this at all. When I saw this, I was like, somebody's gonna have to explain this to me. Like, why are we doing a credit thing here for, Dave Ramsey is freaking out, isn't he?
I can't wait to hear what he says about it. He's
losing his mind over this one. Yeah.
Speaking of headlines that don't make sense and that we need to have explained to us, that's where I am on this next headline, because I have thought through this as much as I can and I'm out. Okay. So the headline says, do Black Lives Matter in outer space?
What is
and the subheading, Elon Musk's company, SpaceX, is ramping up its efforts to inhabit Mars, raising crucial questions about who gets left out of fantasies of space colonization.
Are there crucial questions here? Who's this a crucial question? Just Kimberly. Kimberly finds this to be crucial questioning.
She's raising the crucial question.
There, Kimberly.
Can you believe this?
This is the dumbest shit ever. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about.
I can't. I mean, I'm sure that like whenever the first people who want to go to Mars, if you're a Black person who wants to go, then go. Who's going to stop you?
Nobody's going to stop you. I don't want to go.
I don't want to go.
I have no interest in going.
No.
If you have more melanin in your skin and you're like, I volunteer as tribute, go. Nobody cares. God, this is so stupid. Our world is so stupid right now.
Oh my God.
When it comes to race. It's just so stupid.
And that's the kind of stuff where I'm just like, is this even real life? Like, is this a parody article? Maybe it is. Maybe it's a parody article.
No, it's not. I don't think it is. It's not. It's not. We're like, humanity is that stupid and borked now.
God. Oh my gosh. I know that like a lot of our sponsors today have been sleep related, and that is also obviously the case with mypillow.com/chicks. But when it comes to mypillow.com/chicks, obviously get the pillows. If you don't have the pillows, get the pillows.
Yeah, because then you have everything in your bed. Everything.
Right. You're like set, right? You've got the CozyEarth sheets, you got your My Pillows. Our product that we love the most from mypillow.com/chicks.
The towels, you guys. It's like there's nothing like the towel. If you haven't bought My Pillow towels, seriously, what is wrong with you? Like that, they're great gifts. Like get them for people for graduation, get them for weddings. They will thank you. Greatest towels ever.
The best towels. And right now, because they come in like a 6-pack where you get the two, bath size, the hand towels, and then 2 washcloths. And they're that 6-pack is less than $30 right now. And they have all the colors that you can think of. They have
white.
Them. I got white for the guest room.
Yeah, because you can bleach them. I'm just weird like that. But you do.
But for our bedroom, we switch back and forth between the navy, which I love, and the it's a charcoal gray. That we switch back and forth between. I love them.
That's nice. That is nice. Okay, they are the best towels, right, Nicole? They are. They rock.
There's nothing like them. I know we say that a lot, but I feel like if we keep saying it, people will start to really believe it and then try them because they are the bomb. mypillow.com/chicks. You can get free shipping on every order right now, and you'll save a ton when you use code chicks at mypillow.com/chicks. Okay, let's talk about the end or the almost end of the Department of Education. Yesterday, Trump finally signed the executive order demanding a complete dismantling of the Department of Education. And it was super neat when he did the signing because he had desks with students on either side of him. And they also had a copy of the executive order that they all signed with him. And it was just the cutest. You guys watch.
Cute. He does the whole holding up. I love when he does that. pen is going to be so hard.
Look at that. Look at all the itty bitties.
Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Are they all signing too? It's just so cute.
Yeah. Well, they like wrote thank you, and
Oh my God, that's so adorable.
it was so neat.
It's really, really cute.
And he's like, "Come here, Linda. This is about you too."
I want Linda to like go up there and do like a wrestling move.
Awesome.
So great. So great. Reagan wanted to dissolve it. Remember years ago? He said that the decline of our educational system started when the federal government got their dirty hands in it. I'm paraphrasing, of course.
They ruin everything.
They ruined it. Once they got their hands on it, that's when we started seeing the decline of American education, right? And he wanted to get rid of it. It's like that. He did a speech on that and the American welfare system together. Now Trump has to tackle welfare because that's a big old hot mess, right?
Yeah, there's so many federal government programs are a big fat hot mess, which is exactly why Doge exists, and Democrats should be all about it, but alas.
Yep.
So before the signing ceremony, which happened at 4:00 yesterday, Karoline Leavitt was making the rounds on various talk shows to talk about this event that they were hosting and why they're doing it. Here she is with Harris Faulkner.
Is not failing America's children. He is saving America's children with this action that he will take later today, directing Linda McMahon, our great Secretary of Education, to dismantle this federal bureaucracy that has taken more than $3 trillion from the American taxpayer since its inception in 1979. And what have we had as a result of that investment in our children's education? Declining test scores in reading, writing, and math. Proficiency levels at record lows for 8th graders, for 4th graders, at every level in every state across this country. That's why the president is returning education back to the people, to those closest to our students in our classrooms. And that is teachers and educators and parents who know what is best for their children. And we are excited about this event that will be here later in the afternoon at the White House. We will have parents and educators and students and also governors from across the country who are excited to embrace this new responsibility of educating our nation's children. I will add one more point. The Department of Education has never educated a child. All it has ever done is stolen money from the taxpayers for more regulation that has hurt our children's education. And it's about time a president does something about it. And thank God President Trump is.
She's right.
She's a rock star.
She's absolutely right. They haven't educated a single kid. They've just made things worse. So when people are just like, oh my God, this is so terrible. I can't believe he's getting, okay, well then give us the data on what the hell they've done.
Yeah. Well, and the fear mongering about this is all Democrats have. They are going crazy trying to say that any special needs kid, and don't be bringing special needs kids into this, Democrats, but they're trying to say Republicans don't care about special needs kids, and like basically all the IEPs and all that stuff is going to be going away. It's a lie. It is a total lie, and they do it to fear monger, and it makes me rage. Yeah. Absolutely rage. There's a former Department of Education press secretary who also was on a podcast recently to talk about why it's necessary for this department to be shut down. Angela Morabito, here she is.
Without this federal agency in the way, we could send more dollars to the states. We could put more power in the hands of parents. The department was created as a giveaway to the teacher unions when former President Carter was running for that office. Mm-hmm. It's been pretty much a giveaway to the teacher unions ever since. We're not getting the return on our investment. 1 in 3 8th graders are functionally illiterate.
Yep.
That means their freshman year of high school, a teacher puts a history textbook in their hands, and that accomplishes nothing because they can't read it. Yep. They can't extract meaning from words on a page. So somebody might hate me, hate this current administration, hate, whatever flavor of politics they don't want to have around. But I'm asking them to hate this failure more. No matter what you think of me, no matter what you think of our political side, the results are so bad, we should all be unified against this.
Right.
Yes.
But we won't We won't be. 1 in 3, you guys, 1 in 3 can't freaking read. When I taught at the college level, this was back, God, it was probably 2007, 2005, 2006, 2007. I had college kids who couldn't write in complete sentences. I shit you not.
I bet it's worse now than it was when you were teaching.
It's got to be way worse. And I remember thinking to myself, how did they get into college? How? I don't get it. I don't understand. It used to be that college meant something. Like when you got in, you were accepted. You had to be accepted by jumping through hoops and like doing certain things, passing tests. You know what I mean? Like they had an admissions board that looked at you and said, hey, should we let this person in? Can they read and write? You know what I mean? Like
they didn't have to used to look at that because that was a given. If you had a high school diploma, you knew how to read and write proficiently.
Right.
And now, you know, this No Child Left Behind stuff. I mean, I'm a fan of George Bush for that. It's been awful. It's been a disaster because all it's done is it's made it so that no child is left behind because they're all graduating without any skills.
Right.
I mean, it's totally crazy.
Right.
It's absolutely crazy.
It is. And it's why people will be like, oh, I have a bachelor's degree. Oh, I have I'm like, you don't impress me.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a bachelor's degree now.
That
Everybody's
don't
got
impress
one.
me much.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. So it doesn't. If you have a degree, I don't care. Whatever. Everybody's got a damn degree now. Doesn't take much. Honestly.
Yeah. I saw yesterday that Harvard has just now introduced a remedial math class for their students because they're not ready to do Harvard level math. So they've got like this general math class at Harvard, you guys. Everything about federal involvement in education has been a complete
total
disaster.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And so that's why when like people like Elizabeth Warren, who fearmongers probably harder than anybody else, like every time she puts out a selfie video, she's like, this is a code red fire alarm. Everybody, this is the most important thing ever. She's always like having an absolute panic attack about everything. And this was no exception.
Public school teacher, every public school librarian, every administrator, every school bus driver, everybody who helps educate our kids, you need to know this is the moment we got to stick together and we got to fight back. I don't care if you are a Democrat, a Republican, an independent, a libertarian, a vegetarian, we need you in this fight. This is the fight for an America where it's not just rich kids who get an education and have a chance to build something with their lives, but that every kid in America gets the best education they can so they can build the best lives. But the only way that's going to happen is if we stay in this fight. It is a fight we can win.
Lady, you are the party of the rich kids. Don't preach to us about the rich kids because you are it. You're the party of the elitists and the rich. So shut your yapper, honestly. And this is again, the whole like fear mongering and all that. It's all they've got because they can't talk about policy and she can't talk about data. She won't tell you that 1 in 3 kids they're not literate.
Yeah. What has the current Department of Education done for our kids? Name one positive thing.
She won't talk about that. She doesn't want to talk about that. She just wants to get out there and be like, oh my God, we got to fight. What the hell are you fighting, Pocahontas? What are you fighting? You're fighting progress because that's what we want. We want progress and we want money to be back into the schools that actually need it. We want teachers to be paid what they're worth, not a bunch of administrators up here and a bunch of bullshit DEI crap that we don't need and a bunch of people who don't actually educate children. That's who's taking the money. It's crap. It's absolute crap.
Yeah, the reason Randy Weingarten is the maddest about this is because she stands to lose the most. Because right now she makes over $500,000 a year, you guys. She does nothing for kids. Nothing. Becky Weiss, she's become very, very popular on social media. You've probably seen her videos. You may not know her name, but you will soon match her name to her face. She's actually going to be on our show next month, I believe.
Yep.
Very excited to have her. She did a phenomenal sort of takedown of the current fear-mongering talking points that are coming from the left on this issue. And it was perfect. Here she is.
Dismantling the Department of Education is going to have horrific implications. So I actually think this is going to be super beneficial for us. But like, what are your concerns? Kids are going to lose access to their breakfast and lunch programs. Yeah, that's huge. The kids have to eat. But thankfully, that's already funded by the Department of Agriculture. Okay, but what about the special needs children? What about the children who need IEPs and special education services? What about them? Super important, and I fully agree with you that we need to protect these children. However, all of that is being moved to the Department of Health and Human Services, so none of that is going away. Okay, whatever, but what about the grants and scholarships? What about the Pell Grants? Where are those going to come from? Yeah, absolutely. You know, I was on a Pell Grant myself, and I understand the importance of having these grants and scholarships available, but thankfully, all of that is being transferred to the Department of Treasury. Whatever, okay? We need more funding, not less. You know, more money is just, it's not always the answer. Interestingly enough, adjusted for inflation even, the Department of Education's budget has grown from 14 billion to 80 billion in recent years, while student outcomes have actually gotten worse. Not just that, but nationwide, less than 32% of our children are proficient in reading and less than 31% are proficient in math. The system is failing our children. It's time for it to go.
It's just, see, there's some data. They hate data, right?
They hate it.
And it goes back to, we just want more taxpayer money. We just want more. That's going to solve the problem. It's idiocracy.
Oh my God. It so is. It so is. And, you know, one of the things that you're going to, because obviously this is all going to, some freaking activist judge is going to be like, no, Trump, you can't dismantle the Department of Education and we're not letting you and we're going to fight you on this. This is absolutely inevitable because they fight him on absolutely everything. But what was really interesting is that Glenn Beck looked at the founding documents of the Department of Education and made some very interesting points. Are you ready to read? Because I'm making
ready.
you read this.
I'm ready to have my good glasses on. I'm ready to read.
Okay. So this is what Glenn Beck uncovered right here.
Has anyone who opposes Trump's dismantling of the Department of Education actually read its founding documents? From the Department of Education Organization Act, the establishment of the Department of Education shall not increase the authority of the federal government over education or diminish the responsibility for education, which is reserved to the states and the local school systems and other instrumentalities of the states. It is the intention of the Congress and the establishment of the department to protect the rights of state and local governments and public and private educational institutions and improve the control of such governments and institutions over their own educational programs and policies. By stripping the department of its power, Trump is upholding the will of Congress, not defying it. Well, isn't that interesting? Huh. Leave it to Glenn to actually look at what, it was supposed to be. Yeah. Instead of like a bastardization of what, liberals want it to be.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was very, very interesting. Because, before there's any EO signed, Stephen Miller has already done all the due diligence about the legalities of it.
Oh
right?
My gosh.
So,
yeah. Like 18 ways to Sunday. He's done.
Yeah.
That. Yeah.
And it doesn't mean there's not going to be a court battle, because there always will, because of all the progressive judges that the Democrats put in. But at least they're doing it. They know exactly what they're getting going in. So anyway. All right. So moving on, because we spent a lot of time talking about all the Tesla attacks yesterday, and the hatred against Elon has gotten scary, dangerous. There was a guy, this is somewhere in New York, he'll say exactly where he is, who found signs, I think like on a mailbox or like a newspaper stand. But the brazenness that these people have about wanting to commit violence against Elon Musk is really scary. Check this out.
This is Graham Avenue, Metro, here in Brooklyn. So look at this.
Oh my God.
Look at what this is in Brooklyn, Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Who will kill Elon? What the heck is this? Now, this is a serious threat here.
Yeah, it is. You think? Oh my God. Can you imagine if people on the right did this? Can you imagine if they were saying that against, I don't know, anybody, and saying it about Kamala or saying it about anybody on the left? Can you imagine if that was happening and there were signs up? I mean, it would just be mass chaos in this country.
Oh my gosh,
a couple years
totally.
Ago. Chaos. It'd be 24/7 on the news channels, on the news. I say that in air quotes, on the legacy media channels. They would be losing their minds. And
And they should, because this is absolutely unacceptable.
Right. But where are the people, where are the late night talk show hosts denouncing this? Where are
they're egging it on?
Yeah. I want to see where they actually, like, where normal people, normal on the left, because I don't think there are no normal people left on the left. Where are they denouncing this? They're not. They're just not doing it. They are egging it on. And that that shows there's such a delineation between people who are on the left and people who are on the right. I am not like you. I don't want to be like you.
I don't like anybody on the left. I don't want any of them to die. That's freaking psycho.
Right. It's completely psycho. We are not the same.
No, we are not. And that was patently clear, not last night, but I think the night before. There was a woman, I guess she's a podcaster. She has terrible glasses, awful choice in eyewear. Her name is Angela Rye. And she was trying to make the claim on Abby Phillips' show. And by the way, I haven't seen Scott Jennings in a couple of nights. I think that like that the lady that he sparred with the other day
broke him.
It didn't break him, but I think he just needed a break. You know what I mean? Like he was just like, I can't deal with these people right now.
Yeah, he's like, I need to take a hiatus for a couple weeks because I've dealt with all the, like, you guys have put me on a loop and I'm the one who's having to deal. I'm the one lone conservative that's having to deal with all these lunatics every single night. I need a break. I need a vacation for 2 weeks.
I mean, I don't know how long he's going to be gone. It was noticeable that he was not around for the last couple of, I mean, they've got Sir Michael Singleton. They've got other really good conservatives, but you know, Scott definitely gets the most press.
Right.
But I wish he would have been there to spar with this Angela Rye chick. Instead, it was Kevin O'Leary, and that's a whole other story too that we'll get to. But Angela Rye was trying to say that Tesla is not an America First company because Elon is from South Africa. This is an actual point that she was trying to make, and she sounded like a lunatic making it. Check this out.
No violence, but I wish people would take a look in the mirror and see what's actually happening. This is not an America First company. It's a South African First company. That's what Tesla is. But this is the same party that talks about America First and make America great again, but they're giving someone unfettered access who is
that guy,
an immigrant. And if you leave it to this party to talk about, there's no space for immigrants.
Okay.
No. Some of us are here by force.
Some of us are
What?
No, you're right. That's exactly what y'all think. That's exactly what y'all think.
He's a lesser immigrant?
No. What I'm saying is
he's tainted because you're from South Africa and he's really brilliant?
You know what is so funny about that? Y'all are also the party of the birtherism movement.
Wow, he's a tainted immigrant.
No. That's what you all would have liked to say about Barack Obama.
Where do I fit? I'm Irish Lebanese. Am I like second class or where am I?
You tell me, ask your party.
Wow.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
God, she's psychotic. It's like, listen, she doesn't even have to open her mouth and I can tell you that she's liberal. You know, the glasses and just the face, I can just tell like she's already so mad. You know, you can just tell that she's a raging liberal.
But they're becoming like they're xenophobic. You know, it's always projection with them. And so their xenophobia is on full display right now because Tesla could not be a more American company. Everything is made in America. Everybody that's employed is America. Elon Musk is an American citizen. For her to say that it's a South African first company is so freaking insane that no one should take the left seriously when they are on these kind of platforms.
Yeah, because it's a buffet. It's a buffet for them. I don't like him. So he's a dirty South African. You guys you can't trust him because he's one of those icky, dirty South African immigrants. Don't trust him.
Oh my God.
I mean, what a racist biatch.
Yeah. And then, you know, because she was sitting right next to Kevin O'Leary when they were going back and forth about, I don't even know what in this clip, but she, you know, when you talk to someone and you're sitting right next to them, sometimes like you might touch their arm or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, God,
how did that.
How dare he
He did that. He did that. And she lost her shit and just made it so unnecessarily cringy awkward. Here is that moment.
You can contribute to whoever you want, and the hope is that they're going to know that you want certain priorities.
He literally tweeted to the members of Congress.
The oldest profession on earth.
You don't have to touch me.
Is not.
He literally tweeted to these members, "Thank you for doing this. I don't want you to touch me. That's my personal space.
I won't ever do it again.
Thank you." But he literally says, I hope.
She is that chick. The hostility, like just dripping off of this woman.
And then trying to pretend as though like somehow she's been attacked by him because he touched her, he invaded her personal space. Give me a break.
Yeah, she's like, that's my personal space. And then so many people were tweeting back at her, like Scott Jennings being touched by a liberal in another clip. Like there was some black liberal dude that was like touching him, and they were like,
"Oh, really?
Is this sexual assault? Is that what this is? What is this?" Like seriously, the double standards, the craziness, the hostility, these people, it's just constant. I am a victim. I am a victim. Oh my God. Somebody like feels sorry for me. I am so hostile. Are they ever happy? Is there ever any joy with these people ever?
I don't think so. Definitely don't think so. And then even like this, I don't watch this show in its entirety because really I just like the Scott Jennings clips mostly.
Yeah, I know, me too.
Or the Sir Michael Singleton because he's also amazing. But and Kevin O'Leary, like I like when he spars with people. It's fun to watch. But the fact that they're inviting people like Angela Rye, the fact that they're inviting Jamaal Bowman, who is a disgraced former congressman for a reason.
Right.
The fact that he is coming on the show now to offer commentary, and then he just sounds so stupid. So he was trying to make the point that it was kind of like, who was it just yesterday that was saying AOC, people like AOC should be listened to? Who was it? Was it Don Lemon? Yeah, Don Lemon on Bill Maher was like, people really love AOC. They want her. This is who the Democrat Party needs to have as their leadership. Jamaal Bowman tried to make the same case, and Representative Mike Lawler, one of the lone conservatives on there, was like, "Are you serious?"
That AOC, Pramila Jayapal, Greg Cesar, I hope they're the new face of the Democratic Party because Republicans will be winning elections all over the country if that is the face of the Democratic Party. Are you?
I mean, y'all
listen, a district like mine that Joe Biden won by 10 points, 10 points. Kamala Harris won by half a point. Okay, I won by 6.5 points, 24,000 votes in a district that has 85,000 more Democrats than Republicans. Why?
And you're right.
Because the
Democrats. But you ran against a cornball candidate.
He was your friend.
He was not my friend.
He was your friend.
You had someone running against you who was not a strong candidate. And we still
we agree on.
We still have consultants and big money controlling the Democratic Party, compromising it.
Outperform Kamala Harris in her district. Trump did better than
But here's my point. The New York, look no further than New York, where issues like cashless bail have been a disaster. Issues like sanctuary state status, congestion pricing. In districts like mine, where Democrats on paper should win big, they're losing. And so if the messenger is AOC, who, by the way, was originally from my district, she grew up in Yorktown, not the Bronx. If AOC is the face of the Democratic Party in swing districts all across this country, she will mobilize voters way more than Nancy Pelosi ever did.
Yeah.
Jamaal Bowman.
This is who they're. Yeah, I know. Listen, dare I say that I think that CNN's time they're ticking. It's ticking, you guys.
I mean, yikes. And then Jamaal also, I don't know, let's listen to this clip of Jamaal ripping on Elon Musk. Is there any room for a defamation claim against Jamaal here? Because this is not just him saying, like, we call the Tates scumbags. This seems different.
Not true. And this shows, again, the American people do not trust Elon Musk. And Elon Musk is incompetent in his position. And how do we know?
Oh my God.
Because they fired tens of thousands of people. It was challenged in court. The court said the people have to go back, and now the people are coming back. He's incompetent. He's a thief. He's a Nazi, and people don't trust him.
Wow.
Let me.
Those are, that's talk about defamation. The Nazi thing, I'd be like, it's on, like Donkey Kong.
He called him a thief.
Yeah. I mean, has he looked around at all of his friends, like all the Congress people and the senators who have been stealing from the American people for how long? This is the thing. It is a sickness. TDS is just an absolute sickness. It needs to be studied. I don't understand it. I don't understand how you can be that decayed in the brain where you can't see that these people, these elitist government people, have been stealing from us. And that's all they're doing is they're doing an effing audit. That's it. To save the people money. It's an
recommendations on how to save more of our money.
That's it.
How dare they?
And they're out of their minds because Elon happens to be friends with Trump and working with Trump. They can't deal. They just can't do it. No, we can't do it. But it's just a sickness, man.
I want to believe Mike Lawler about how ridiculous it is to consider AOC like a leader in the Democrat Party. But we've got some clips to show later that will show that, I don't know, you guys, there are a lot of people that really do like her. And the fact that there are people running for New York City mayor who are openly commie, and they're like you always say, and like what we wrote in our book, you know, we are the broccoli party. They are the ice cream party. They're just like, what can we give you?
Oh, and
the taxpayer dime.
They want free crap.
They want free crap.
Democrats want to be cradle to grave, free crap. And we are the party of personal responsibility. There's different, like, again, we are not the same. We are not.
So this guy, what is his name? It's Zoran Mamdani. He's one of the people, one of the Democrats running to be the New York City mayor. Look what he wants to do with grocery stores.
Are out of control. The cost of eggs and milk has skyrocketed. Some stores are even using dynamic pricing, jacking up the cost over the course of a day depending on what they can get away with. It doesn't need to be this way. I'm Zoran Mamdani, and as mayor, I will create a network of city-owned grocery stores. It's like a public option for produce. We will redirect city funds from corporate supermarkets to city-owned grocery stores, whose mission is lower prices, not price gouging. These stores will operate without a profit motive or having to pay property taxes or rent, and will pass on those savings to you.
Oh my God. Can you imagine being an actual private grocery store in New York City right now and hearing that?
Yeah. It really, yeah, John, communism much. It's exactly what it is. It's freaking communism. God, I hate it when progressives, these people on the left, they're constantly trying to implement communism in but it'll be different this time. It'll be different. It's better. We can do socialism and communism better. No, you can't. You can't. Stop it.
And it's just like people will see that guy. He's very clean cut. He's like, seems real.
Nice suit.
Nice suit, nice looking. And he's like, look, I'm going to make grocery prices cheaper. And all that's going to be required is that all the current grocery stores who operate for barely a profit, like their profit margins are so tiny.
Right.
And they're going to be expected to fund a public option grocery store, which will ultimately put them out of business, which will mean there is no way to pay for the public option grocery store. This is how stupid commies are.
It kills the free market. It's what it
does.
My God. They hate the free market. They hate America is what they hate. God. These people don't understand and they don't care. Yeah, you will eat the bugs, right? You will eat the bugs and you will like them. Yeah.
And they're also
Can I just say that somebody gave us a really generous thing? You need to can we just call out this person? Somebody gave us a really generous super sticker, JLN258. Do you see that?
Oh yeah, I do.
I just want to
say are the absolute best. Thank you
just
so
the sweetest,
much.
Most generous. It's so sweet. And I just wanted to make sure that we recognize that individual because I don't think I've ever seen JLN before.
Oh
have you ever seen JLN? I don't know if I have.
I don't know, but we usually say those for the end, and so we'll recognize it again. But
we do. We'll do it again. But thank you. It was very sweet.
Chuck Schumer was on. I don't even know. Was this? It doesn't matter what channel, but he was on to talk openly again because now they just say all the things with no shame. So he talks in two separate clips. I'm just going to let them run together because they're short. But he talks openly about how their strategy, the Democrat strategy, is that they essentially had Joe Biden appoint 230, I think, progressive judges to stop Trump's agenda. And they are also threatening GOPers about their votes, openly threatening them in his state. And he doesn't mind saying as much.
Who believe that we are in real time living through an assault on the constitutional order. Do you believe that we are in a constitutional crisis right now?
Yes, our democracy is at risk because Donald Trump shows that he wishes to violate the laws in many, many different ways. The good news here is we did put 235 judges progressive judges, judges not under the control of Trump last year on the bench, and they are ruling against Trump time after time after time. And we hope that the appellate courts, when it gets up there in the Supreme Court, will uphold those rulings. They restored the money to NIH. They required that 8,000 federal employees have to come back. We're in over 100 lawsuits against them, and we are having a good deal of success. It's only at the lower court level right now. We are mobilizing in New York. We have people going to the Republican districts and going after these Republicans who are voting for this and forcing them to either change their vote or face the consequences. This is a long, relentless fight.
Oh my God, you piece of crap.
Every day, and I am confident that we will bring Trump's popularity, numbers, and strength down if we keep at it and keep at it and keep at it.
Yeah, whatever. Wow. See, he's all about a judicial oligarchy, which is in fact a constitutional crisis. So they again, projection. Mm-hmm. They're doing the exact thing that they're telling everybody that Trump is doing. They're doing it. But just from a judicial perspective, that's what they're doing. And then like he's telling us, like he's threatening voters.
Right?
Screw you, dude. Come at me, brah.
It's just unbelievable. And he just says it, and there's like no pushback. You know, it's fine for him to say we go after those GOP voters and we force them to change their vote or face the consequences.
Yeah,
what?
Go ahead and continue to mock us. Jackal.
Wow. Meanwhile, Hope Walz, the daughter of Tim Walz, I don't think she's doing him any favors. But again, I always I misunderstand the Democrat Party to my own demise, right? Like we should not ever underestimate how they are received, even when they say stupid, ridiculous stuff. And so she is complaining about, because everybody calls her father Tampon Tim because he wanted tampons in boys' bathrooms.
Right.
And she's complaining about how weird it is for people to not be okay with tampons in boys' bathrooms. Her rationale is completely idiotic, as you would expect. Here she is.
Moral high ground that certain people have, and this like talk about protecting the children and keeping tampons out of boys' bathrooms, which tells me they didn't even read the bill, but that's a whole nother thing. Also, if you have a wife or like a daughter above the age of like 12, 13, ages vary, and you share a bathroom, you probably also have tampons in your bathroom. And the fact that they scare you and you're so obsessed with it is fucking weird.
Yeah. Why do liberal
That's
girls
not
always
the same?
Why do they want to look homeless? Why? Why do they always want to look that way? Have you noticed that? And they're in their cars. Why is everybody in their cars now doing videos like this?
Yeah, that's a thing.
What is that? I mean, is she just waiting to like roll her windows down and smell like burning tires somewhere like her freaky mom? She's saying that she's talking about being effing weird. You know who's effing weird? Her family. Her whole family is effing weird.
They are. I mean, they're legit effing weird.
And it's not the same. It's not she realizes that like there's a difference between a biological girl and a biological boy, and biological girls should have tampons. Biological boys don't need tampons. Nope. Why is it so hard?
Well, and the fact that she's comparing a boys' bathroom at a school to a bathroom in your house that you share with family members. I mean, really? That's
a stretch. A little bit of a stretch.
Okay.
I can't believe we have to do this. We have to have this conversation about that ridiculous of a comparison. And please, for the love of God, wash your hair.
You know? Speaking of weird, Senator Kennedy, who often says things in a way that is just quintessential Senator Kennedy, does it again.
Well, I mean when I say they're deeply weird. Our Republican secret plan for dealing with the Democrats is called Operation Let Them Speak.
Yes. Yes. He's so right. Just let him go. Like all this talk from AOC and Bernie and Chuck Schumer and all of them, all of them, any liberal that has opened their mouth over the past, ever since Trump took office, they all just sound insane.
They do to us, but you guys, we showed you the like ridiculous movie poster style announcement that Bernie and AOC put out that they're going on tour to like stop the oligarchy. This was the line to see them in Tempe, Arizona, which, by the way, they ended up filling to capacity the arena that they booked. 15,000 people were inside and the overflow area was full. This is what it looked like. It was like a Trump rally, you guys. The line to get in to see them, they are mobilized. And so this is what I mean when I say do not underestimate the excitement and the mobilization that Democrats have right now. They are so angry that they will be coming out in droves to vote. And we need to be aware of that.
It's not excitement. It's just sheer anger. These people are
it's
just
rage.
angry. It's rage. It's not excitement at all. There's no joy in these people.
No, there's no joy. But rage is a powerful energizer. And if it gets people to the polls, our joy cannot compete with that unless we also are happy to get out to the polls. You know what I mean?
Because it's easy to prey on stupid people and use fear to do it and then make them scared. And that fear and that, that fear turns into, it definitely turns into rage because they're like, they don't understand that the government doesn't love them. How do you get that across to somebody? How do you make them understand that after just seeing the whole JFK thing, like it just, that verified what I already knew. I knew it was an inside job, but when you see that, if you're a liberal and you see that it was an inside job, how can you still trust your government? And how can you still say, oh my God, they love me and they want what's best for me and my family?
Right.
How can you think that? How can you think that the people that are in Congress and Senate haven't been stealing from you willingly and openly, just doing that? How can you think that? Oh no, they're not stealing from me. They love me. Chuck Schumer loves me. I'm not an ATM to him. He loves me and my family. Bullshit. Like, how can you not see that? These are the same people who just live in abusive relationships and they just do it because they want that. They just thrive on it. They can't get out.
And everything that Democrats say, everything that they fearmonger about is almost always projection, almost always. Yeah. And Batya Angar Sargon made that point really, really well, especially because this is an anti-oligarchy tour. But really, it's Democrats who are the party of the rich elites. And she points it out so perfectly. Here she is.
An irony to Democrats talking about oligarchy, because, of course, for every one billionaire that backed President Trump, Kamala Harris had 2. 9 of the 10 richest counties in America are represented by Democrats. 65% of Americans making over $500,000 a year today are Democrats.
Yes.
75% of hedge fund managers who make political donations donate to Democrats, and 95% of political donations from the top 3 management consulting firms go to Democrats. Meanwhile, President Trump absolutely crushed with Americans who make under $100,000 a year. The Democrats are the party of the wealthy.
Yes.
And Donald Trump is representing the working class because he simply lifted the pro-worker elements of the Democrats' agenda when they abandoned the working class to cater to their rich base. This is all performance art. And what's so upsetting about it is they are being paid by the American people to serve them, and they are doing nothing of the kind.
Yes, preach it, Batya. I love her. God, I love her. She's so right. We are the party of the working class. We are the party of the everyman and every woman. And anytime a liberal comes to you and says, oh my God, elitist, blah, blah, you give them those stats. You give them those stats that she just said, the 65%, the 75%. They are full of crap. They don't know. They don't know what they don't know. They need to be like, this needs to be just shoved in their faces at every turn. They need to be pummeled with this information, with data, because I think there are still some like kind of like my husband's cousins. They're not rich. They're far from rich. They live in a small town. Lesbians, actually, 2 lesbians, and they're one like there's a retired gym teacher or something, and the other one was a retired firefighter or something. And I'm thinking to myself, how did they not see this? These are working class people. How do they not see what's actually going on? It's because they've been told the opposite, and they are so like set in this groupthink that they can't see outside of their little compartmentalized box. You know what I mean? we just have to tell them. We have to pummel these people with information. And that's hopefully what people will do now that they're getting information like this. She's so brilliant. I love her.
Yeah, she's, I mean, and the way she's just so good at communicating her thoughts. You know what I mean? She's very, very eloquent and to the point. And I just love listening to her. On the contrary, one person I do not love listening to is Hilaria Baldwin. So we played the clip of her just absolutely humiliating Alec Baldwin, her husband, on a red carpet appearance the other day. And everyone, I mean, they got so much backlash. She got so much backlash for just being awful to him and for him being a prisoner in his own marriage. So now she's making videos of them like cuddled up in bed and like making fun of the whole incident in order to try to convince us all that they are rock solid. Here is their desperate attempt at saving face.
And that is called, what's the word of the day?
Manterrupting.
Manterrupting, which could be a positive. It could be a negative, or it could be a
correctile dysfunction.
Yes, correctile dysfunction. I think that's one of our children trying to get into the room. But you know, the whole point is, because our children are about to come in, the whole point is that we interrupt each other all the time. Or sometimes our kids interrupt us. I mean, Carmen wants to. Okay, I'm coming.
Okay, go get Carmen.
Okay, so now that we cleared all of that up, wait, I cleared it up. Give me a kiss just so they know that I'm not.
Oh, I'm so happy.
And give me a kiss.
Kiss me.
I swear. You know what he is? This is what I call him. He's a Shawshank husband. He's like, permission to pee boss. He's that. He's a Shawshank husband. And like that, there's a lot of guys like that where before they get married, they have a wonderful person. Not saying that Alec Baldwin did. He may be the exception because he's just kind of a dick all around. But but you guys know him. I mean, you've known guys like this where they have great personalities, they have interests, they're like these 3-dimensional guys, and then they get married and they just are beat down, and then they become Shawshank husbands, where it's like their friends will be like, "Hey, dude, you want to go out and do something?" I gotta ask my wife.
Oh yeah.
I can't, you know what I mean? I gotta ask. I don't know. How do I feel about that, honey? How do I feel? You know what I mean?
What's my opinion on things?
What's my opinion? Exactly. I cannot stand that. It makes me very uncomfortable to see men like that. So,
and I mean, that just, to me, that made it 10 times worse. It just confirmed what we saw on the red carpet.
It was
She's
scripted.
like, and what do we call that?
Right.
And what is the word of the day, honey?
My God. I just,
yikes.
He's a Shawshank dude is what he is. Mm-hmm.
All right. We need a brain cleanse for sure. And so let's have some JD Vance. JD Vance was on a podcast the other day, and he was asked about what he does differently as VP than Kamala. And that led to a nice big fat chuckle from JD Vance.
Different with each presidency. How are you doing the job differently than Kamala did it?
Well, I don't have 4 shots of vodka before every meeting. That's one way I think that Kamala really tried to bring herself into the role is these words to answer a question the way that Kamala Harris answered questions. I mean, look, man, I don't know. My sense is, and this is a little bit of guesswork, obviously, I don't talk to Kamala Harris or Joe Biden very often, but my sense is that there wasn't a level of trust between Biden and Harris. And so, she was just less empowered to do her job. And, luckily I'm in a situation where the president trusts me, where if he asks me to do something, he believes it's going to happen. And obviously, we'll talk about it and check in. But I feel empowered in a way that I think a lot of vice presidents haven't been. But that's all in the service of accomplishing the president's vision. And I think I try to remind myself of that, every single day, that the American people elected Donald J. Trump to do a job. For him to do that job successfully, the people around him, starting at the top with the vice president, have to do their jobs well.
Speaking of the vice presidency, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz ran against you for the post. He said this week,
I'm aware.
He said this week that he can beat most Trump supporters up. And I wonder, as you hear that, were you ever physically intimidated by Tim Walz on that debate stage?
I have to say, Vince, I was never physically intimidated by Tim Walz. I saw those comments, and I just, there's a little bit of a thing where the Democrats have become so unpopular among young men in particular, but really all men, that I think they have to posture and pretend. And who goes on TV and says I could beat up a large group of people? I just think that it's a guy who doesn't actually know how to relate, who's trying to say something that sounds relatable, and it just comes across, and unfortunately the way that Tim Walz sometimes comes across.
He's weird. Remember when they were like, JD Vance is weird? Remember when they used to try to say that?
Tim Walz tried to say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the Democrat Party ran with it. And all the talking heads on all the different legacy media channels are like, he's so weird. He's so weird. And they tried to make that happen. And now look, I mean, he's like the most relatable dude ever.
Yeah.
The best VP ever. And
he
then
is
look at
good people.
And look at Tim Walz. Put him up. He's just an idiot. How'd that work out for you, Timmy?
I know we've talked about April 2nd. Of course, that's a big day for this administration when it comes to tariffs. And Kevin O'Leary, we've got a clip from Kevin O'Leary and Scott Bessent talking about why that is and what to look for on April 2nd.
That's what's going to happen. I'm going to just give it to you in English. Every single tariff schedule, they started in the Second World War, that far back, on every product in every country has never been looked at this way. So India, Ireland, England, Canada, Mexico. If you charge 243%, which is what they charge Vermont butter when it goes into Quebec, they're going to put a reciprocal tax on it April 2nd. Even Steven. So butter coming in from Quebec is going to be taxed at 243% into Vermont. And then what happens, both sides look at each other and say, this is pretty dumb. Why are we doing this to each other? And they say, how about no tariffs?
Yes.
That's why this works, because you got to squeeze. Yeah.
April 2nd is going to be a big day. We're going to roll out the reciprocal tariffs. But what I can tell you, and I would encourage your viewers and the public and the media to follow, going into April 2nd, and already now we've seen some of our most imbalanced trading partners come forward and want to drop their tariffs. So,
Go figure.
By President Trump pushing forward with a tariff plan, reciprocal tariffs, if you drop yours, we'll drop ours. We are already seeing some of the worst offenders come down. April 2nd is an important day, but I would also tell everyone to look what happens from April 2nd to, say, June 30th as the other countries come down too. And President Trump's created a win-win situation here. Either the tariff barriers come down, the U.S. can export more, trade is fairer. It's always been free, but not fair. And then we, or if they don't do it, we'll take in substantial revenues.
Boom.
Yeah.
I love this. I love everything about it.
I love everything too. It's like, oh, we don't want to be taken advantage of. Go figure. And liberals are like, this is terrible. Again, we want to be taken advantage of. We want to be abused. We want to be in that abusive relationship. Why? Why do you want that? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch this. And it's so interesting to already hear that so many countries are like, can we make a deal?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's already happening. It's so great.
Exactly.
Absolutely great. Okay. Hide your kids and hide your wives. Okay. Because there's going to be a lot of F-bombs dropped in this next video. Totally worth it. And you'll hear why in just a second. You guys are all familiar with that horrible trans creature who goes by Lily on, and if you don't know the name, you'll definitely know the face. This is that guy that constantly goes to restaurants and tapes himself being misgendered.
Right.
He's
Oh, that guy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And he just had facial feminization surgery.
Did it work?
No. And he posted he posted one of those transformation videos where he like looks to the side and then looks forward a whole bunch of times as he's getting towards the surgery date. And then he does it again on the surgery date. And then like 30 days later to show his results, he looks exactly the same. And he was like bandaged and bruised and he had all kinds of stuff done to his face. There is no change.
And it's
you
like,
guys, none. Oh my God, so bad.
Okay.
So he's one of the people that is constantly fighting to be in women's spaces, women's bathrooms.
Right.
And he made a video about that, to which this guy responded. And it's the guy that's responding who is so awesome and who drops a lot of F-bombs. But again, I think you'll think it's worth it.
Trans women are more afraid of you in the bathroom than you are of us.
Come here. Maybe that's because deep down, you know you're not supposed to be in there. And when you're in there, you're afraid that somebody's going to call you out on it. Listen, as a father, I'm going to be straight up. If my 13-year-old daughter walked into a bathroom and then you followed her in there because you identify as a woman, I'm going to identify as a fucking problem. And I would go to extreme lengths to make sure that you are removed from that fucking bathroom. Lily, I'm going to go out on a fucking whim and say you don't have children, which is why you're totally cool with being a grown-ass man. That's right, I fucking said it, a grown man, and going into a bathroom that there's a very good potential that young female children are going to be using. I could give two shits if you're going in there to pee or you're just going in there to go to the bathroom and scroll on your phone for a little bit. You're not supposed to be in there. I really don't give a shit how many people I piss off with this video. This is a hill I'm willing to die on.
Yep. Preach it, Dad. Preach it.
Yes.
Some of us will die on that hill with you.
And that is a good hill. That's a good hill.
It's a great hill. The people on that hill, we are all like partying together. And there's a lot of Gen Xers on that hill. A lot of us.
Well, and you know, Trump has obviously done all the right things when it comes to trans girls, trans women in sports, trans women in spaces, all the I mean, he's done the executive orders, he's done everything in his power to make this stop. However, there are outliers that continue to, I guess they're waiting for state legislators to rewrite some of the policy and, you know, go through all the bureaucratic nonsense in order to actually implement Trump's orders. But it's still a huge problem. And this happened yesterday. There was a trans runner, a guy, a biological boy, who blew out the competition, all the girls in this track meet in an Oregon high school. And, you know, there's video of this guy, you know, beating all these girls by forever and then like high-fiving somebody at the end of this race. It is absolutely infuriating. And then there was a sports editor, I don't know this guy's name, but Libs of TikTok posted about this. A sports editor is suggesting that instead of bitching about this, that the girls should just try harder, you guys.
Okay. This is a guy that's never, ever played a sport, been involved in a sport ever in his whole life. Yeah. That guy played chess. Not even. I don't even think he's probably smart enough to do that. He just was a total loser.
Oh my God. So his name's Ryan McLaughlin. And what he said exactly was, quote, "There's a concept in running. If you want to win, I don't know, train harder, do more speed work. Trashing LGBTQ teenagers won't win you races. Training fast will."
Yeah. Or in other words, what he should say is she shouldn't have worn that short skirt.
Oh my God. This is
right. Is that the same thing? It's the same thing, right?
Oh my God.
I mean, really, in a whole different situation, that's what he would be saying. If that girl was a victim of a man, he would be saying, well, I mean, she shouldn't have worn that outfit, right? I cannot with these guys.
I mean, I immediately thought of you when I saw this, but I mean, that was bad enough. But then I've been hanging on to this video and just waiting for a chance to show it because I was like, I have to say this because it's going to make Daisy's head explode.
Okay, great.
But I didn't have enough other stuff to play with it until today when there was obviously a reason to. But just like Ryan McLaughlin, there is this, I think it's a girl on TikTok who had a similar message that Ryan had, but her delivery, it made me mad. And I'm not even the mom of a daughter in sports. Okay. And I was livid. Listen to this imbecile.
If your daughter doesn't want to compete against trans women in sports, maybe your daughter just shouldn't play sports. Ever thought about that? Maybe she just doesn't have that competitive spirit. Maybe she's just mediocre. Maybe she's not that good because you know what? There are cis women that beat out the boys every single freaking day.
Oh my God.
So if your daughter is making all of these excuses because she thinks that a trans woman has biological advantages over her, which is probably brainwashing that you caused.
Oh my God.
Complaining about the biological advantages that trans women have. She's going to complain about the biological advantages that cis women have, okay? What if there's a cis girl on her team that's 6 feet tall? Is she going to complain? What if there's a cis girl on her team that has extra large feet and so has great balance? Is she gonna complain? What if there's a cis girl who has extra long arms? Is she gonna complain? She's gonna complain about every damn thing, okay? So maybe it's time to hang it up, okay? Accept the mediocrity and go on to play piano or something like that, okay?
Okay.
Oh my God.
This is a chick who's never been involved in a sport ever. God, you have no idea how much I hate that
Oh, I have
broad.
an idea.
I swear I hate her. And I know hate is a strong word, but I dislike her greatly. So she's never played a sport in her whole life. She has no idea how any of this stuff works. She's completely ignorant to everything. But I'd like to see her, just a guy. Okay, she obviously has never played a sport. Let's find a guy who's never played a sport and let's make them fight each other.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Let's put them in a fight right now. I'd like to see that. And let's see who wins that fight. Let's just see. I'd like to do that. Let's just see. You know what I mean? Because if she doesn't win that fight, then she's just mediocre and she needs to try harder.
Yeah, it needs to be a fight with a trans woman.
Right. It's like with a trans woman, a man, a biological man. I want to have her fight a biological man. Around the same, maybe, no, he can be bigger because these girls in sports are obviously the guy that in Oregon, that biological dude that kicked everybody's ass in Oregon was way bigger, way stronger. So it doesn't matter the size, but I'd like to see some biological dude fight her. And
they can even be on estrogen for a year or whatever.
Totally. Let's see it happen. Let's see it happen, lady. And
I will pay. I will pay good money for that.
And when you get your butt kicked, it's because you're just not trying hard enough. And
maybe just accept your mediocrity.
Maybe just accept it.
God, wasn't that just awful?
Yeah.
Absolutely awful. Okay, that is why we need these specific My Pillow Talks. And I did that on purpose because I was like, after I play that and her head is exploding, I'm going to need some very awesome animals.
My blood pressure is so high right now. So
I know.
high.
I'm sorry. But we're going to have elephants. We're going to have a special about baby elephants.
Oh,
okay.
I love elephants.
I know,
do.
right? They're the best. Before we get to the elephants, because we have quite a bit on elephants today and fascinating stuff about baby elephants, especially. Is there anything as cool as an alpaca in sunglasses?
Is that real or is it AI generated? Is that real?
I think it's real. Yeah, because look, I think it is. Because the other alpaca is like, what is that? How come I don't have any of those?
My gosh, that is so cute.
Even if it's AI, so what, man?
I know, right? Who
adorable.
cares? It's still so cute. That's right. I do need an elephant. I do, Kevin. I do.
You do. If there was a way, there needs to be a miniature elephant. That needs to be a breed.
Oh, I take a giant
one.
one. I don't care. We have giant animals. I don't care. I'd take a giant elephant.
You have cows, but elephant, that's a whole other level of giant.
It's fine. I totally take it. I just love them. They're so sweet.
Babies, you guys. I learned so much from this clip about the babies.
Elephants have the same personality as human toddlers. Because they're so young, they haven't fully figured out their long trunks yet. They often treat their trunks like toys, even accidentally stepping on them and then curling up in pain. And they can't use their trunks to drink water. Instead, they awkwardly stick their butts up and drink with their mouths, sometimes even lifting a leg while doing it. They're endlessly curious about their long water pipe, but have no idea what it's actually for. So they swing it around every day, trying to shake off what they think is a useless appendage. When they eat grass, they often fling it all over the place. Sometimes they suck on them like pacifiers. Elephants are highly intelligent, social animals, and the birth of a baby elephant is a big deal for the whole family. The herd collectively protects the newborn, which is probably why baby elephants grow up so playful. They'll chase ducks for fun, and when they trip, they run straight to mom for comfort. If they stumble over a tree branch while following her, they even angrily whack the branch to vent. Once they learn how to use their trunks, they even cheekily stroke people.
Oh my gosh, I love them.
Isn't that the best thing ever?
That is
oh my God.
So
and there's
cute.
more. So there's a guy who is an animal or is an elephant trainer, and he is training an elephant named Shavo, and he's demonstrating how well Shavo knows his name.
When we say name of this elephant, it's Shavo. Then when we give them name Shavo, then he knows,
He's like, hey, it's me. Hi.
He talked to me. If you know name, he can't hear you.
He's like, hey,
But
what
if
are
he
you doing?
said Shavo, he knows, oh, okay, I'm coming. Then you coming to me.
Oh my gosh. I
Shovel.
want one, you guys.
I know.
Any giant animal I've got to have.
Okay, shuffle.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
Hey.
I think he loves him too.
All right.
That guy loves him too.
Shuffle.
It's so sweet.
So sweet.
Oh my God.
And- I know. And then lastly, I just love this elephant because he has a prosthetic leg.
Oh my gosh. How did that even happen?
I don't know, but the fact that somebody made this oh my God.
I love
Look
that
at this.
person. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that incredible?
God bless him. Oh my gosh.
Incredible.
That is remarkable.
And look at how good he gets around with it.
He gets around so good with it.
I love that so much.
Bless his elephant heart.
I know. So great. There are folks out there who probably remember it was a couple weeks ago now that we told the story of one of our followers whose name is Jennifer, who suffered a stroke and somehow laying next to her phone saw the video of me having a stroke, and it made her realize she was having a stroke. And so she was able to get the help that she needed. Since then, she has had a real struggle, you guys. And today she is having surgery, big surgery, because she's still having trouble with speech and some other things. And so she asked for our community's support in prayer. And I just wanted to share an update from her. She said, I need to ask a huge favor from the Chicks family. I'm going to have a big surgery tomorrow, which is today, to drain fluid from a part of my brain that is slightly damaged from the strokes. Worst case scenario is that they have to put a permanent shunt in, depending on how bad it is. Kind of freaked since it's a brain procedure, but the neurologist and team have been on the ball. And if this isn't done, my prognosis would not be as promising. Plus, the fluid buildup has caused pneumonia, kidney issues. So I pretty much have to do this. It's actually a common procedure, but there are always risks. My speech is still really slurred and I have a lot of numbness on my right side still. So draining off the fluid will help me achieve the best opportunity for progress and reversal of some of these symptoms and damage. I know there have been quite a few viewers who are praying and are curious as to my status. I am not a person who wants or even likes attention, but I do know God is good and prayers work. Thanks again. And may God continue to bless you both. So please be thinking of our audience member, Jennifer, today as she gets her surgery.
Yeah, it does work. It does work. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. On to some thank yous from the Ball Pit crew. Kelly 1106 said yesterday, selling your soul and selling your data. Best segue yet. Bravo. That was about an ad that we did yesterday. Kelly 1106 also said, you have to call balls and strikes on all parties. I am a supporter of this administration and of Trump, but there have been some misses. Love you, chicks. And that's true. We're never going to sugarcoat when our own side does stupid stuff.
He's human. They're human,
Exactly.
you guys. You know?
Exactly. Gayla Howell said, happy Friday, chicks. I'll be celebrating my 58th birthday on Saturday, March 22nd. Woohoo! I hope you have a very blessed weekend from Gayla.
Happy birthday, Gayla.
And Judy Flood over on Locals says, the people on the left are batshit crazy. Correct. Correct, Mundo.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And now you.
Okay. Katie Wells, hello from Tokyo. My husband and I are celebrating our 15th anniversary here on an amazing 11-day trip, and I still have not missed most of your shows, even though we are 13 hours in the future. Oh my gosh. That's so nice, Katie. Thank you. My daughter is dying to go to Tokyo. That's like her dream trip. Wow. Like, I don't know why, but she just really wants to go there. Ken Conrad, anniversary of the 1967 Belvedere, Illinois tornado. Many people died, including 2 classmates. Oh my gosh, Ken? F4 tornado hit the high school just as it was letting out. Oh my God, it's terrible. What a horrible thing to live through.
Oh my gosh.
But we're so glad that you're here, Ken.
For real.
Paula Johnson, as a retired teacher and a never ever union member, I applaud the dismantling of the DOE. Yes, Paula. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you were a great teacher too, Paula. Shelley Ethington. We've gone from teaching Latin in 8th grade to teaching remedial reading in college. Ain't that the truth, Shelley? Yeah. JLN 258, we already called you out, but this was like incredibly generous. I don't think we've ever had one this big. The chicks are the absolute best. I don't know who you are, but dang, thank you.
That was really, really, really kind.
So nice. Thank you very much. Curio 23, Elon Musk is the greatest African American of all time. He is pretty amazing, isn't he? Totally. Reba Henry, now we know why the government can't pass an audit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Andrea Viola, Americans are too tolerant to commies living with us. It's so true.
Yeah.
Too
Many
nice.
people want communism. And I just, wow.
It doesn't make any sense. So many people here living here fled it. And they're like, what are you doing? Yeah. Stevie J, Scott Jennings hasn't been on since you made Chad purr when you said his name.
I did. I totally said, Chad, you're going to have to do the purring.
Did he do it?
He's not here. Yeah, because I can't. I'm physically incapable of. I can't do that.
But he can do it. I know he can do that. I have to make him do that the next time I'm with him. Teresa Raimundo, what is the deal with all the Democrats, Hope Walz, and the freaking hand dances and body twisting? Take my money and have a great weekend. And the car videos.
They're copying.
They're doing this, and in the car. What is that? Andrea Viola, like, are they living in their cars? What are they doing? Andrea Viola, if the Democrat judges the Schumer spoke about were signed in with Biden's auto pen, those appointments should be null and void. Remove them immediately. I agree. Somebody's got to keep looking into that. That's still making me kind of crazy. And I want to make sure that like Fauci just goes to jail. That's the only thing I care about. As long as he goes to jail, I will be a happy lady. Giles, I never have learned if it's Giles or Giles. I think it's Giles, right? Giles Chester.
I don't know. I feel like it's Giles.
Prayers for Jennifer. Yeah.
And we just got some from Meredith RN over on Locals 2 said, praying for Jennifer. I have a shunt and it's always a bit scary having neurosurgery, but God is with you.
God bless her. Okay, I have some. We're gonna bring it in, and I have a few gifts. So you can stick around, or you don't have to stick around. But I wanted to show a couple of those. I don't know who they're from, but everybody. This I don't know who it came from. This came from somebody, and they said you can either take it or your daughter can take it. And it's super cute. It's like this cute little. It's Sally the strawberry cow. It's from Send a Friend, and it's Sally. She's adorable, but I don't know who sent it. You guys, please show yourself at once. If it's you, show yourself. So that's adorable. I got some books, and are these books from? I think they're from Trevor Johnson. I think these books are from Trevor. Jessica Harper is not woke. I got 2 of them. I think one of them is probably for you, Mock. I'll have to give it to you when I see you in May. I got, hold on. I want to make sure I do this right. Crap. Okay. I want to make sure that I show you guys this cow. This is a printer. What do they call it? The 3D printer?
3D printing.
This was made on a 3D printer. It's a cow. Okay.
Wow.
And I thought that was really cool. And that is from Nick and Dawn. I think I have their name right. Pippinich. Did I say that right? Pippinich. And they also gave me turkey earrings, which I will totally wear on Thanksgiving. The fact that you can make that stuff with a printer is pretty amazing. It's from Morgan. Now you got one yesterday.
Yes.
I got one from Morgan too. It's a
Look
vision
at that.
board. She probably, that is so thoughtful. She probably spent so much time doing
Oh
these.
my
It's so
gosh.
lovely. Thank you, Morgan. Love that. And then I got, I wanted to shout out Susan Luke's Osuki out here. She sent me a lovely letter about Astrid and some money for her cremation,
Aw.
which was so unnecessary, but so lovely. And thank you for that. I got a lot of letters and really sweet cards for Astrid. Dave and Kelly Weissman, Kim and Matt Lakin, Brenda Murphy, Anna Meese, Carolyn Everett. I've read them all. Very, very sweet. They're all sitting out on my counter right now. So thank you so much for that. I don't think I've forgotten anybody. I want to make sure that I haven't, because sometimes I do that. I have ADD. I think I remembered everybody, but thank you. And for all the people that have reached out about Astrid too, I just wanted to thank you. I really do appreciate that. We miss her.
Good group.
We really miss her. So anyways, love you guys. Thank you for that. And hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and we will talk to you on Monday.
Happy spring.
Bye guys.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the Chicks on the Right's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.